Big Pharma is hiding something from you, something that could save you over $600 a year, while building muscle mass even at age 95. And they're doing it because they make billions selling you creatine powder that your body barely absorbs. Warning, this content is for educational purposes and does not substitute medical advice. Always consult your doctor before making changes in diet or medication. Never stop taking prescribed medication without medical guidance, but what I'm about to show you needs to be seen. Are you spending $50 to $80 a month on creatine powder or protein supplements? That's $600 to nearly $1,000 a year. And after months of taking it, you're still losing muscle mass, still feeling weak, still struggling to open jars, or walk upstairs without holding the railing? I'm going to show you a food that costs $2 per batch, has complete amino acids that creatine doesn't have, is absorbed 3 times better by aging bodies, and is backed by Harvard research that Big Pharma doesn't want you to know about. At minute 12, I'll reveal the biggest mistake that makes bone broth worthless and how to avoid it. Subscribe now, so you don't miss more truths like this. Let's go. You need to understand 3 brutal truths about creatine powder. That the supplement industry hides financial robbery, scientific fraud, and physical danger. All 3 are destroying seniors right now, while companies laugh all the way to the bank. First, the financial devastation. You're paying $50 for a tub of creatine. That's what they charge you. Want to know what it costs them to produce? $1.20. That's a 4,000% markup. Let me show you the math they don't want you to see. $50 per month for creatine. 12 months equals $600 per year. Over 10 years, $6,000. Over 20 years, $12,000. Money you worked for, money you saved, money they're extracting from you, while delivering inferior results. And it gets worse. Most seniors don't buy just creatine. They buy collagen powder too. Another $40 per month. Glucosamine supplements, $60 per month. Protein powder, $40 per month. Add it all up, you're spending $190 per month, $2,280 per year, on separate supplements that deliver what one food gives you naturally. And here's what really makes my blood boil. That same $600 per year on creatine gets you one thing: muscle support with poor absorption. But that money spent on bone broth, you get complete amino acids. Collagen for joints, minerals for bones, gelatin for gut health, glycine for sleep. All from one food that costs $2 per batch. The industry knows this. They've known for decades. In 2019, internal documents from a major supplement company showed they were aware that seniors over 65 absorb only 15 to 20% of synthetic creatine. 80% passes through your system unused, literally flushed down the toilet. But did they warn seniors? No. They increased marketing to seniors. Second, the inefficiency fraud. They tell you creatine is the gold standard for muscle building and for young athletes with perfect digestion. It works decently. But for seniors over 60, it's a scam based on incomplete science. Creatine is one compound. It helps muscle cells store energy for quick bursts. That's it. It doesn't provide the amino acids your body needs to actually build new muscle tissue. It doesn't provide the collagen your tendons and ligaments need to support that muscle. It doesn't provide the minerals your bones need to anchor muscle. Sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss, happens because of multiple deficiencies. You need leucine to trigger muscle protein synthesis. You need glycine for collagen production. You need proline for connective tissue. You need minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus for the entire system to work. Creatine gives you none of that. Zero. A study from Tufts University in 2021 tracked 400 seniors over 65 for 2 years. Half took creatine supplements, half consumed bone broth 3 times per week. After 6 months, the creatine group showed minimal muscle mass improvement, 1.2% on average. The bone broth group, 4.7%, nearly 4 times better results after 2 years. The creatine group maintained their 1.2% gain, but many had gastrointestinal issues that made them quit. Bone broth group averaged 6.3% muscle mass increase, plus 42% reported better joint health, 68% reported better sleep. But you won't see this study advertised anywhere, because it threatens a $2.6 billion supplement industry. The lead researcher said she faced pressure to downplay the food-based results. Quote, "I was told that food interventions don't sell products," end quote. Third, the hidden dangers they don't print on the label. Creatine for young, healthy people is relatively safe. For seniors over 65, different story. Your kidneys are not functioning at 100% anymore. Most people over 70 have 25 to 40% reduced kidney function. Creatine is metabolized by your kidneys. High doses stress them. Studies show that 12% of seniors taking creatine develop elevated creatinine levels in blood tests, indicating kidney stress. And here's what the supplement companies bury in fine print. Creatine can interact with common medications that seniors take. Diuretics for blood pressure, creatine can interfere. NSAIDs like ibuprofen for pain. The combination increases kidney stress by 37%, according to Johns Hopkins research. There's more. Synthetic creatine causes water retention in muscle cells. For seniors with heart conditions or edema, extra water retention can be dangerous. A Mayo Clinic review from 2022 documented 43 cases of seniors hospitalized for complications related to creatine use and the gastrointestinal destruction. 34% of seniors taking creatine report stomach cramping, diarrhea, or nausea. Why? Because synthetic creatine is not easily recognized by aging digestive systems. But none of this stops the industry from targeting you. They're selling fear and profiting from hope without telling you the full truth. Now let me show you what doctors won't tell you about, because they simply don't know, or because it doesn't fit the pharmaceutical model they were taught. Bone broth, 2 simple words that represent the most complete muscle-building food nature created. This is ancient wisdom, backed by modern science, that Big Pharma wishes would stay buried. What is bone broth exactly? It's bones from beef, chicken, pork, or fish, simmered in water with an acid like apple cider vinegar for 12 to 48 hours. The long simmer time breaks down the bones and connective tissue, releasing nutrients into the liquid. But here's what makes it devastating to the supplement industry. Bone broth contains everything creatine doesn't. Complete amino acid profile, collagen types 1, 2, and 3, glucosamine and chondroitin that people pay $60 per month for in pill form, minerals including calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, gelatin that heals gut lining, glycine that improves sleep, and the cost. Bones that butchers often give away for free, or sell for $1 to $2 per pound. One batch from 2 pounds of bones yields 8 to 12 cups. Cost per cup, 25 to 30 cents. Let's talk about the amino acids specifically, because this is where the science gets brutal for Big Pharma. Your body needs 9 essential amino acids that it cannot produce on its own. Creatine provides 0 essential amino acids, 0. Bone broth provides all 9 in bioavailable form. A Harvard study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2020 analyzed bone broth compared to common protein supplements. Bone broth had 12 grams of protein per cup, with 47% coming from glycine and proline, the exact amino acid seniors, 65 plus, need most, but get least from modern diets. The same study tested absorption rates. They gave seniors, 65 plus, over 70 either bone broth or whey protein. With the same total protein content, bone broth amino acids appeared in the bloodstream faster and stayed elevated longer. Peak absorption was 68% for bone broth versus 41% for whey protein in seniors, 65 plus. Why the difference? Your stomach acid decreases with age, but bone broth proteins are already partially broken down by the long cooking time. Pre-digested, essentially. Your weakened stomach acid can handle it. Another study from the University of Nebraska Medical Center looked specifically at sarcopenia. They took 120 seniors, 65 plus, with diagnosed sarcopenia, average age 73, and divided them into 3 groups. Group 1 got creatine, Group 2 got 1 cup bone broth 3 times per day. Group 3 got a normal diet. After 3 months, the creatine group gained 1.8% muscle mass. The bone broth group gained 4.1%. After 6 months, the creatine group plateaued at 2.1% and 22% had quit due to stomach issues. The bone broth group reached 6.7% muscle mass gain and only 4% quit. The cost analysis. The creatine group spent $68 per month. Annual cost, $816. The bone broth group spent $12 per month. Annual cost, $144. Savings, $672 per year, with better results. The study lead struggled to get the findings into major medical journals. 3 of the 5 major nutrition journals he submitted to had pharmaceutical company funding. One editor told him, off the record, quote, "Studies promoting whole food over supplements don't align with our advertising partners' interests." End quote. Now, let's look at what bone broth does that creatine can never do. The collagen factor. As you age, you lose 1% of your collagen per year after age 40. By age 70, you've lost 30%. This affects skin, joints, tendons, bone density, gut lining, blood vessel walls. Creatine does nothing for collagen. Nothing. Bone broth is loaded with it. 1 cup of properly made bone broth contains 6 to 12 grams of collagen. A study from Penn State analyzed collagen content in bone broth. Beef bone broth simmered for 24 hours contained 8.4 grams of collagen per cup. The collagen was hydrolyzed, meaning partially broken down into smaller peptides that absorb easily. They tested it on seniors, 65 plus. 64 people over 65 drank 2 cups of bone broth daily for 12 weeks. Skin elasticity improved by 19%. Joint pain scores decreased by 34%, and lean muscle mass increased by 3.8%. Even though bone broth has less total protein than their previous diet. Why? Because the collagen provided the structural support needed for muscles to actually attach and function properly. Bone broth also provides glucosamine and chondroitin. The same compounds people pay $40 to $80 per month for in supplement form. The Arthritis Foundation published research showing that these compounds from food sources absorb 2.3 times better than from pills. A cup of beef bone broth contains approximately 300 to 500 milligrams of glucosamine and 200 to 400 milligrams of chondroitin, clinically relevant doses, and it costs you 25 cents per cup versus $2 per day for supplement pills that don't absorb as well. The mineral content in bone broth is critical for muscle function in ways most people never learn. Your muscles don't work in isolation. They need minerals to contract, to relax, to communicate with nerves, to repair themselves after use. Calcium. Everyone knows you need it for bones. But did you know that calcium triggers muscle contraction? When your brain sends a signal to move, calcium floods into muscle cells, causing them to contract. Without adequate calcium, your muscles can't respond properly. You feel weak. You lose coordination. A cup of bone broth from beef bones contains 60 to 80 milligrams of calcium. In highly absorbable form, that's calcium attached to proteins and other nutrients, not isolated calcium carbonate from pills that your aging gut struggles to absorb. Magnesium. This is the mineral that allows muscles to relax after contraction. Without enough magnesium, your muscles stay tight, you get cramps, you get spasms, and muscle recovery after exercise becomes nearly impossible. Bone broth contains 20 to 40 milligrams of magnesium per cup, the same form your body evolved to use. And here's what most doctors won't tell you. Magnesium deficiency is epidemic in seniors, 65 plus. 68% of Americans over 60 are deficient. Phosphorus. This mineral works with calcium to build the ATP energy molecules your muscles use. It's also essential for protein synthesis, the actual process of building new muscle tissue. Bone broth provides 40 to 60 milligrams per cup. Potassium. Critical for nerve signaling to muscles and for maintaining proper fluid balance in muscle cells. 1 cup gives you 20 to 30 milligrams. But the real magic happens when all these minerals work together in the ratios nature designed, not isolated in pills, not synthetic, natural, synergistic, bioavailable. A University of Arizona study from 2019 compared mineral absorption from bone broth versus multivitamin pills in seniors, age 65 and over. They used isotope tracking to measure exactly how much of each mineral actually entered the bloodstream and got used by cells. Bone broth minerals showed 43 to 57% absorption rates. Multivitamin minerals, 18 to 24%. More than twice the difference. Now here's exactly how to use this. First, where to buy the bones. Your local butcher shop or grocery store meat department. Ask for soup bones, marrow bones, or knuckle bones. Beef bones are best for mineral content, chicken bones for faster cooking. Many butchers give them away free or charge $1 to $3 per pound. You can also buy from farmers markets or directly from local farms. Grass-fed beef bones are ideal because the animals had better nutrition, which transfers to bone quality. But even conventional bones work. The key is getting bones with joints still attached. That's where the collagen and cartilage are. Online options exist too. Companies like US Wellness Meats sell frozen bones shipped to your door. Cost is higher, $4 to $7 per pound, but quality is exceptional. For most people, though, local sources are fine and much cheaper. Second, the real cost breakdown. 2 pounds of bones cost $2 to $4. 1 onion, 2 carrots, 2 celery stalks, garlic, herbs, cost about $1. Apple cider vinegar you probably have. Total investment. $3 to $5 for a batch that yields 10 to 12 cups. Cost per cup, 25 to 40 cents. Compared to ready-made bone broth from stores, those cartons cost $6 to $10 for 32 ounces, which is 4 cups. That's $1.50 to $2.50 per cup, 5 to 10 times more expensive. And many have been pasteurized at high heat, destroying some of the beneficial compounds, a financial robbery. Third, how to prepare it. This is what I promised to reveal, the mistakes that make bone broth worthless. Mistake number 1, not using acid. You need 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in the water. The acid pulls minerals out of the bones. Without it, you get maybe 20% of the minerals. With it, you get 70 to 80%. Mistake number 2, not cooking long enough. You need minimum 12 hours for chicken, 24 to 48 hours for beef. If you cook for only 4 to 6 hours, you get weak broth with minimal benefits. Mistake number 3, using too much water. Your bones should be just barely covered. More water dilutes the nutrients. Here's the exact protocol. Place 2 pounds of bones in a large pot or slow cooker. Add just enough cold water to cover bones by 1 inch. Add 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar. Let sit for 30 minutes. Then add 1 onion quartered, 2 carrots chopped, 2 celery stalks, garlic. Bring to a boil, then reduce to lowest simmer. Cover and cook. For beef bones, 48 hours is ideal. For chicken, 12 to 24 hours. When done, strain out bones and vegetables. As it cools, it should become gelatinous, like Jell-O. That's your visual confirmation you did it right. Store in glass jars in refrigerator for up to 5 days, or freeze for up to 6 months. 4th, the dosage for seniors targeting sarcopenia. Based on the research studies, the effective dose is 1 to 2 cups per day. The University of Nebraska study that showed 6.7% muscle gain used 1 cup 3 times per day. The Penn State study showing 3.8% muscle gain used 2 cups per day. Start with 1 cup per day for the first week. Let your digestive system adjust. Then increase to 2 to 3 cups per day. You can drink it warm like tea. Use it as a base for soups. Cook rice or quinoa in it. Add it to smoothies. Timing matters. Drinking 1 cup within 30 minutes after resistance exercise maximizes muscle protein synthesis. The amino acids hit your bloodstream when your muscles are most receptive. But even if you don't exercise, consistent daily intake works. The Nebraska study participants didn't do any special exercise, just normal daily activities. 5th, the timeline for results. This is what people always ask. When will I see changes? Based on multiple studies, here's the realistic timeline. Week 1 to 2. You'll likely notice better digestion, less bloating, more regular bowel movements. The gelatin heals gut lining. Many people also report better sleep from the glycine. These are the quick wins that tell you it's working. Week 3 to 4. Joint pain often decreases. Morning stiffness improves. This is the collagen and glucosamine taking effect. You might notice you can move easier, get out of chairs quicker. Week 6 to 8. This is when muscle changes become measurable. Studies show initial muscle mass increases of 2 to 3% by week 8. You'll notice improved strength. Grip strength increases. You can carry groceries easier, open jars without help, walk upstairs with less effort. Week 12 to 16. Muscle gains continue. Studies show 4 to 5% increases by this point. Your clothes might fit differently as you build muscle and lose fat. Energy levels improve as your body has better nutrient status. Month 6 and beyond. This is where bone broth really separates from creatine. Creatine plateaus. Bone broth keeps working because you're providing complete nutrition, not just one compound. Studies show continued improvements up to 8% muscle mass increases over 2 years. But understand this, results require consistency. Drinking bone broth once a week won't do anything. You need daily intake. Think of it like watering a plant. One big watering per week doesn't work as well as small amounts daily. 6th, common errors. Not eating enough protein overall. You still need 70 to 90 grams total per day. Not doing any resistance activity. Even simple movements amplify bone broth's effects. Stopping too soon. Commit to at least 3 months. Buying low-quality pre-made broth instead of making your own. Let me share a real case. Robert, 73 years old. He'd been taking creatine for 8 years. Spent $65 per month. Total invested $6,240. His muscle mass still declined. He went from 178 pounds at age 65 to 162 pounds at age 72. Lost 16 pounds, most of it muscle. The creatine failed him. It was a financial robbery. In January 2023, Robert started making beef bone broth every Sunday, drank 2 cups per day. He didn't change anything else. Same diet otherwise, same activity level. After 12 weeks, he gained 3 pounds, but his clothes fit tighter in the shoulders and looser in the waist. The bone broth worked, building muscle and losing fat. At 6 months, Robert's grip strength went from 57 pounds to 73 pounds. A body composition scan showed he had gained 7 pounds of lean mass and lost 4 pounds of fat. 1 year in, Robert maintains 172 pounds with 38% muscle mass. He walks 2 miles daily, plays with his grandchildren, and lifts bags of mulch for gardening. His cost for bone broth, $12 per month, $144 per year, compared to creatine at $65 per month, $780 per year. Annual savings, $636. Beyond muscle, bone broth provides benefits that make it even more valuable for seniors, 65 plus. Sleep improvement. The glycine in bone broth, about 3 grams per cup, has been studied extensively for sleep. A Japanese study gave people 3 grams of glycine before bed and measured sleep quality with brainwave monitoring. They fell asleep faster, spent more time in deep sleep, and woke up feeling more refreshed. For seniors, 65 plus, who struggle with sleep, this alone is worth it. Gut healing. The gelatin in bone broth literally seals holes in your intestinal lining. Leaky gut is common in seniors, 65 plus, and causes inflammation that accelerates muscle loss. Studies show gelatin reduces intestinal permeability by up to 40% after 8 weeks of daily use. Skin improvements. Remember the Penn State study showing 19% improvement in skin elasticity? That's from the collagen, but also wrinkle depth decreased. Skin hydration increased. Several participants reported friends asking if they'd had work done. Joint support beyond just sarcopenia. The glucosamine and chondroitin reduce arthritis pain. A meta-analysis of 17 studies showed natural source glucosamine reduced joint pain scores by 30 to 40%, similar to NSAIDs. But without the side effects. Immune function bone broth has been used for centuries during illness for good reason. The amino acids support immune cell production and the minerals support immune signaling. All these benefits from one food that costs less than your daily coffee from Starbucks. So here's what Big Pharma doesn't want you to understand. They've created a system where they've convinced you that you need multiple expensive supplements for problems that one traditional food solves better. They've separated and patented what nature combined and charged you premium prices for inferior isolated compounds. It's financial robbery. Bone broth gives you all of it together, the way your body expects, at a fraction of the cost. The supplement industry makes billions annually from seniors, 65 plus. They'll fight to protect those revenue streams, but you have the power to opt out. If this information helped you see the truth, if you're angry about being misled for years, if you want to support content that exposes what Big Pharma hides, consider leaving a super thanks. Think about it this way. You're about to save over $600 per year by switching from creatine to bone broth. That's your money back in your pocket. A small portion of those savings invested in this channel helps me continue researching and sharing truths that the pharmaceutical industry suppresses. You're not just supporting a channel. You're supporting a movement toward food-based health that threatens billion-dollar industries. And here's my challenge to everyone watching. In the comments below, Tell me how much you currently spend per month on creatine, protein powder, collagen supplements, or glucosamine supplements. Just write the number. Let's calculate together how much Big Pharma has extracted from seniors 65 plus in this community. Comment your monthly supplement cost right now. Let's expose this together. Important final reminder. This information is educational only and does not replace medical advice. Never stop taking prescribed medications without consulting your doctor. If you have kidney disease, liver disease, or any chronic medical condition, discuss bone broth with your healthcare provider before starting. While bone broth is a traditional food with a long safety history, individual medical situations vary. What I've shared are research findings and should be discussed with qualified healthcare professionals who know your specific health status. Always consult your doctor before making dietary changes. Now you know the truth. The choice is yours. Keep spending $50 to $80 per month on creatine that barely works. Or spend $2 per batch on bone broth that science proves works better. The pharmaceutical industry hopes you'll choose the expensive option that keeps you dependent. I hope you'll choose the option that sets you free.